Mr. Abel.
Yeah.
Operator? Just a moment, operator. Now we're ready.
Hello?
Mr. Abel.
Yes, sir.
Johnson?
Oh, hello.
Hi, Abe. How are you?
Oh, pretty good, Mr. President. You?
I'm doing fairly good, getting a little sunshine.
You resting up and taking in that Texas sunshine, huh?
Well, I've been trying to get my desk clean, and I got it cleaned pretty well last night and went to church this morning. How are you getting along?
Well, pretty good. We've had a busy day. In fact, a busy 2 days since we saw you. And we just wound up our Wage Policy Committee meeting, and I thought you'd be interested to know that the boys ratified the agreement.
Well, I'm mighty proud of
So
you.
we're not going to shut your steel industry down.
You're mighty proud of you. Mighty proud of you.
Well, it wasn't easy, as they say, but these things never are. I think by and large, the boys are fairly well pleased. We don't please everybody, but...
Well, they ought to be pleased. You did a good job for them, and we got to get busy now and work on our competition.
Well, that's right, and we certainly want to do that, and I want you to know we appreciate the fast movement you made on this California problem. The governor called me yesterday afternoon, and I put Jack Sheehan in touch with him to let him know what the story is there, and they're going to get together and work on it.
That's wonderful. Well,
We appreciate it.
well, I'm going to do. You bring anything else like that to my attention, and we'll get right on it. And let's work close together. We're going to have a dinner. I believe the 17th of this month. You'll get an invitation like the one we had the other time.
Very good.
And I want you right in there with the folks, and we'll get going and try to make it the best year we've ever had.
Well, we'll certainly do that. And I want you to know your friend Coop is appreciative of your action on this California thing. I told him about it this afternoon, and he appreciates the fast action too. And of course, he got the best of this deal, as you know. But we'll live under it.
You're doing all right. I'm proud of you.
They think you're a damn tough taskmaster. I'll tell you that.
No, I'm not. Well, you give out a good statement up there and get him to do the same thing. That's all. We got a contract. Let's all go to work now and let's get some orders.
Well, we had a press conference, and I think we did a good job on it, and everything's going to be all right.
Thank you.
And I want you to know that we appreciate all the help, again, of you and your secretaries. It was very good, and we appreciate it, and you'll be hearing from us on it. The board took action, and we'll be dropping you a note.
Please do, and come in anytime.
Fine. Thank you, Mr. President.
Right.
Waiting.
But when you go to look at the budget, 120 to 125 billion, the moment that word gets out to anybody, that interest rate's going up, because they're going to say, hell, we got inflation, and maybe some of them think we got to have control. So that's why I played aluminum and copper and wheat so tough. That's why I threatened to veto the civilian pay bill. That's why I threatened the steelworkers, told them they couldn't go. That's why the dock strike the same way. That's why the machinists strike. And I've held all those to guideposts. They lie and say he hadn't done anything against labor. But labor, productivity and wages are 100.6 of the 57-59 average. So their increases have not been in excess of their productivity since 57-59 average, except by 0.6%. Now prices are up 1.6. So the foodstuffs largely and the metals have been the ones doing it. And they believe in supply and demand, so aluminum, we had to use 200,000 extra tons on account of Vietnam this year. The Defense Department will buy about 325 to 400. But 200 of it increased, so I told them, before we placed an order for that 200, we've been trying to get rid of this stockpile 6 long years. These sons of bitches won't talk to us. They just tell us to go to hell. So they went in a meeting this year, and in October they sat down and told our people that they would not buy it, they could not buy it, that we had to keep this stockpile, $4 billion, aluminum, copper, everything else, and pay interest on it. We couldn't use it when we had it scarce, that we'd ship it in from France in preference let us use our own. And then this arrogant bastard named Hickman Harper was gone, the president of Aluminum Company. He's from Texas and a pretty good fella, but he was in Japan. Hickman said, if you don't take what I tell you, I'll go out and beat you over the head with the press. Well, you imagine what he'd do if he told Huey Long or Russell Long that kind of threat, and you imagine what he did to Lyndon Johnson. Well, I just told him to kick him in the balls and cut his Peter off and put it in our pocket. And that's what we did. And we just said we're going to put in every defense contract that this 200,000 tons has got to come from our stockpile. Now, we got a right to sell as well as they have. And if they're up to capacity, and we're importing 100 million from France, there's no reason why we can't sell our own. We're free to buy and free to sell.
Well, I think you're right about that, Mr. President. I think you did the right thing.
So we did.
Since we produced a lot of it down here, I just didn't say much about it one way or the other.
Oh, I know that, and I didn't blame you. I saw what you said, and I didn't even call you. I thought you were right. But they're happy now. They got a better deal than they thought they'd get. They're very happy. They got mad and canceled out my page in the Democratic book. The aluminum people did. And as soon as I made the deal and they bought the whole stockpile, they went back and bought the book and said they're happy now. Buford Ellington told me yesterday, they said they got a better deal than they wanted, and they're happy as they can be. But they had to have somebody to speak for all the people.
Well, you're doing that, Mr. President, and we're strong for you here. And things are moving along pretty good in this state, too. I think we're going to be all right come the next election.
How y'all getting along on your Tidelands compromise with Katz and